Hey, what's up, everybody? I am me, the Crapgamer, and this is Crapgamer Reviews back with another video. Thank you guys for coming out and checking it out. As you guys kind of slowly pour in and see what the video is about, I really do appreciate it if you guys could like and share it out as we go. Even if you don't like what I have to say, I am on the cusp of some breaking news, and I think that, maybe you guys could, in the vein of just togetherness and brotherhood and gamers unite, do that for me, share it, like, and things like that, because I'm just going to give my opinion on this at the end of the day. Here, let me start off by saying this. I do think that Microsoft is going to have a good show still, right? This one thing doesn't mean anything. Also, I want to point out that not all of Ninja Theory was working on this Bleeding Edge game, okay? It was a small portion. So they have other stuff in the works, possibly some single player stuff. I'm not completely down on Xbox, guys. Don't bring out the cannons, okay? I'm not disappointed in everything so far. What I'm saying is, when I watched this video, okay, for this trailer for this game, I have never seen a more Xbox looking game in my life, right? Just double A, online, mediocre looking, in my opinion, and that is a little bit disappointing. Some people might think it's amazing, right? Some people might go, "Hey, this is absolutely looks incredible," but to me, it looks like almost like a MOBA arena game, or like I originally said a while ago. Maybe some of you that follow me check it out. And I said it reminded me of that Tomb Raider game, that Lara Croft game, where it's like a 4-player kind of co-op game, and that's what this looks like. So the graphical style, I get it, different graphics for different folks. I was hoping that we would get something graphically amazing, sort of like what Hellblade was, right? But instead, it's like this weird sort of cross between Sunset Overdrive. Yeah, so it is a little bit disconcerting that that's the game, but look, I guess beggars can't be choosy, and it's just one of those things. There's multiple teams, obviously, for this company. I just wanted to kind of share a little look. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be talking about this game today, right? And there's probably going to be some damage control for it, and there's probably going to be people going, "Hey, it's not that bad. Let's wait to see what it's all about." But it looks like we do have Jack, man, I'm not saying you got to throw your Xbox away because it's not a single player game. I'm just saying that this is another mediocre, mid-level, probably 65 Metacritic game that Microsoft is going to push out the door. And this is one of their new studios, right? So we were all expecting to get some of the goodness that we expected from the studio. So anyway, it's a multiplayer brawler, according to the trailer. So we hadn't heard much about this since last June. Microsoft bought out Ninja Theory. New trailer for the game called Bleeding Edge was due to be shown at Microsoft's E3 press conference this year, and a game site leaked it. It's a minute-long trailer, and it says confidential on it. So it shows off a third-person 4-on-4 multiplayer brawler with the Devil May Cry combat director taking a role in it. Obviously, the company has a single-player narrative history with emphasis on melee combat and combos and something like that. So this is something completely new for Ninja Theory, and thank goodness, sarcastically, something new that's very much old for what Microsoft does, right? Microsoft loves to put out games like this, and it looks like they've done it again. I mean, this, I don't think this is like people are going to see this and I'm afraid that man, so this is where the leaks come in that are bad, because I think Microsoft is still going to have a good E3, but this was a game that a lot of people were really expecting to showcase what Microsoft was all about. Okay, what their next group of developers were going to be able to accomplish. Right, we were going to see what they could do with all of Microsoft's money, with all of Microsoft's backing, and it looks like an indie game. That's and it looks like an indie game. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. So, I can see, people are going to be a little bit upset with this, and that's what basically happened to me right here. It's just one of those games that just doesn't look very appealing to me. So Jay Slayer says Ninja Theory made this game because they wanted, the only reason it didn't come out already was because they didn't have online infrastructure. Yeah, this was a game that they had supposedly canceled in the past. Um, you know, but I guess they had decided not to make it, and they changed some things up, and Microsoft was like, hey, what can you do? What can you show us that we haven't seen before? And this was one of those things. So the art style looks between something like Sunset Overdrive and Overwatch, with each of the 9 characters getting their own kind of logo and things like that, which I guess is kind of cool if you're into that kind of thing. Each character looks to have a different toolkit. That also reveals that a technical alpha of the game is going to start June 27th. So that's not too far away. I mean, it's one of those things that at least it's going to come out soon. I guess that bears some credence to the leak that we're going to see this game come out before next generation, probably. And then one of the things, another insider leaked some information about it, which was that apparently this game started back in 2014. So before Microsoft actually bought them, and it's gone through some changes and things like that. And it was supposed to be like one of the big deals for Microsoft's E3 or whatever. For me personally, I think it's just a little bit disappointing. Like, from what I'm saying, I know, like, I'm not gonna say, hey, it is what it is. I just want to say that for me personally, it's one of those things that looks kind of disappointing. Like, I was expecting a little something different. And that's a me problem too. If you think this game looks great and you're going to try it out, hey, who am I to stop you, right? Enjoy it, have a good time, have some fun. It sort of almost reminds me of, remember that Batman game that was an arcade game as well, where it was like fake Batman and fake Jokers or whatever going around town fighting each other. That's what it sort of reminds me of. And I think that for what it is, Microsoft wants some stuff in Game Pass, and I think that it'll probably achieve that for some people. But for me personally, I was looking at that Ninja Theory offering as something to really kind of hang your hat on. As Microsoft has changed, they're going to do quality looking games from now on. And I don't know if this looks very quality to me, just saying, if that's, like, I had been told Microsoft has changed. They really want to go all out with quality. That's why they're investing so much. And then you got to wait. And I realized that this was something in development before Microsoft bought them. I get it. Trust me, I do. I get it. But at the same time, it's like, you look at this and it looks just like almost everything else Microsoft puts out. Like, if you were to see this by itself without knowing Ninja Theory made it or whatever, you would probably think, hey, that's probably an Xbox exclusive, right? It looks like every other Xbox exclusive, and I think that's probably the most disappointing thing for me. And I know some people are probably going to hate that, but I think I expected a little bit better, and I expected, I expected a lot of you guys did too. Like I said, I think Microsoft is going to do some good things this E3, and I think that this isn't the end all be all in terms of what they're going to be able to bring, but I think that a lot of us were looking forward to seeing what they had, and the fact that this is it. I do find that to be a little bit disheartening, and a little bit, a little bit upset by it. So hopefully we get something a little bit better. Hey, if you guys come in, please like and share it out. TLR9 says, dude, it looks like Overwatch. Yeah, it looks a little bit like Overwatch. Soul Devious says the consumer sets the expectation, and any business will do what they can to meet the expectation. Yeah, Next Doc says, I'm telling you, bro, Phil Spencer does not know what a good game is. His decisions are awful when it comes to games. His specialty is clear subscriptions and services. Well, here's the thing, right? I said this, remember, because there were rumors that there was going to be some kind of, I thought it was going to be co-op game, but it would be single player still, right? Because the original leak was that, right? It was going to be 4-player co-op game, sort of like those Lara Croft games, and you'd be playing with your friends on different levels trying to do stuff. And now it's just straight up brawler, no story, no nothing, from a game that's supposedly been in development 5 years already. This is a 5-year development game. Yeah, Microsoft comes out and helps it, but how odd is it, right? Because Microsoft's like, yeah, we don't really dictate what to do, but this game was canceled. And I made a joke that Phil Spencer went dumpster diving for this game at Ninja Theory Studios, right? And they could make their next game could be amazing. The problem is you have people that want some stuff, something decent looking right now, right? And this is not it, in my opinion. This is just not it. I hope that we get something good. Craig at E3 says, it looks like Trash Man. They were the ones that, oh, wait, no, that's AJ. My boy AJ Felton. Thanks, bro. You're one of, AJ, you've been a long-time supporter, man, even though sometimes I'm a bit critical of Xbox, and you're an Xbox fan. He says, it looks like Trash Man. They were the ones that got the loudest reaction from fans at last E3 when they were acquired. Listen, they had a 10-person team put out a graphical game like Hellblade. Now, I wasn't a big fan of Hellblade, but I was I thought it looked amazing, and the fact that it looked so good, and yet, we absolutely, I thought we were going to get something that looked more realistic. But graphics aside, I completely get it that graphics aren't everything, but when we've gotten is like these kind of stylized type games like this, I do think that maybe we could get something a little bit more realistic looking, something a little bit, this is like something that probably is going to go into Game Pass, obviously Game Pass day one, and people are going to, play it for a couple days or whatever. But, and I get it, there's going to be a ton of, trust me, I get it. There's going to be a ton of YouTubers out there that are going to be like, well, let's play the game first, right? Let's see how it is. Hey, let's see how it is. We got to play the game and see how it is. We got to wait. Because exclusives don't matter, right? We're going to get this type of game, this type of person that's going to think like this, right? And they're going to damage control it the way that they damage control State of Decay 2 or Crackdown 3, which are okay games, but in no way are these games the quality that Xbox fans deserve. And that's disappointing that this was going to be a game from a studio that I was looking forward to the most this E3, and this is the offering. Yeah, I'm a little bit bummed out. I was excited. I'm still excited going into E3, but I got to say that this is the one that sort of stings a little bit. I'm hoping that they can show off some Fable and stuff like that, because they need a little bit of a comeback when they actually do that. You know what I mean? Brandon Bryce says, crap, why are you talking trash and making fun of a YouTuber, but when you confront him, oh, dude, because I can tell you this much, Brandon, people that can reach me via DM at that time, and they decide to gain some clout for themselves by calling me out when they would never have the guts to do that in person. That's why. Okay. Hey, listen, I'm going to play the game first before judging it, but I got to say, a 4v4 brawler is, I mean, couldn't an indie dev have done the same thing? Couldn't the indie dev done the same thing? That's what I'm saying. I just said game trailers. I just said that this was a game that was in development since 2014. Okay. I didn't say that, that it was, maybe this is a 5-year development game. It doesn't look like a 5-year development game. Okay. This is, and guys, listen, I could go all in about how Xbox has disappointed me. Did you guys see the Xbox trailer for their E3, right? Go look at it. What's it say? It's like an invitation for gamers everywhere. They're not focused on Xbox very much at all right now, and it's kind of annoying. Okay, it's like PC, join us for PC announcements, PC Game Pass, right? Join us, gamers everywhere. Like hardly anywhere are they even mentioning Xbox. Okay, so sorry for being an Xbox fan and maybe being a little bit pissy about the fact that one of the games that we're supposedly waiting for is this, and it doesn't look good or appealing to me. Okay, if it looks appealing to you, then fine. You shouldn't have to make excuses for it. Okay, I'm not. It doesn't look great to me. I think that it looks very lackluster. I'm not excited by the game. But if you are, hey, I'm not going to take that from you, because that's your opinion and you're welcome to it. Just like I'm welcome to mine. I like, certain type of games. I just think Microsoft has stuck too tried and true to a certain style of game. And this isn't my style of game, a 4v4 brawler. Like, I don't like Overwatch. That's not my type of game. It looks almost MOBA-like. The 4v4 genre on console, I don't feel works extremely well. And, I guess I was just expecting something a little more realistic, and this is not it. Okay. Brandon says, crap, I'm an Xbox fan. I'll try it. AA, AAA games take time. I'll wait. I won't jump. Look, nobody's jumping ship, but this is a game that was 5 years in development. And Xbox Dan says it looks like a free-to-play Switch game. You're not wrong. EDM Gamer says, so now Microsoft does PC, mobile, and the cloud. Yeah, I think that Juan Snow, you're not wrong, my friend. This is the future, and Sony should embrace it. Exactly. Because Sony's going to do this type of game too, right? No. Sony's going to do big AAA, big budget games. Look, I think Microsoft Studios can do some great things. But when the rumor is that Ninja Theory and inXile are the ones bringing their new IP to E3, I feel like we might be let down a little bit because both those are kind of more AA developers, and I just feel like they're not going to do a good job of promoting next generation. Like obviously, Microsoft are going to do next generation. Okay, they can play dumb all they want and pretend like they're not going to do next generation or what's next generation. Next generation is more powerful hardware. That's all it is, right? And they might do, they might support the old generations for a couple more years, just like they did the 360. But that doesn't mean that they're not doing next generation. Next generation is new, more powerful hardware that really kind of expands on what we're doing, what we've seen, and what these things are capable of. So with that being said, they definitely are doing next generation. They're going to have games that blow us away, right? I feel like Halo Infinite is going to blow us away. Gears 5 looks amazing. Whatever the next Forza is, that because they've steadily put money into these games and they're really good games and good franchises. And I love those franchises. Don't get it twisted. Gears is probably my favorite franchise, and I'm really interested to see what Halo Infinite can do. But at the same time, I just want to see. I was excited to see some of the first offerings we get from these new studios, and I feel like what we get in these first offerings are a good indication, my friends, of what we're going to get down the line. Because Microsoft has Game Pass, and Game Pass needs a steady flow of content. Not every 4 or 5 years, but they need stuff in between, every couple of years. And this probably looks like that. Now, before you guys jump on me, right? Crap Gamers on the hate train again. No, I said that this was probably the smaller team of Ninja Theory working on this, as it's been in development for 5 years at various points. And obviously other people at Ninja Theory are working on other things as well. So don't get it twisted. I think they probably have other stuff coming in a few years, but I just don't think that this is like the big offering that a lot of us expected or wanted, or were hoping for, to start things off. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button, share it out and stuff like that. I do these videos, man, sort of one-on-one. I enjoy sort of talking to you guys and just getting my opinion out there. And hopefully you guys understand that. It's just my opinion. I am not hating. I'm going to be taking questions and your comments in the chat. If you have to see, if you guys want to talk and keep it civil, man, I'm all for it. Big Germ says, from seeing that now, I'm worried about the other developers they bought. Hey, they got that game for Game Pass. See, Big Germ, this is what I said, and a lot of people didn't like what I had to say, okay? Microsoft claimed they're going to be hands-off, but this was a game that Ninja Theory had put aside or had thrown away, weren't going to finish, and Microsoft was like, what do you guys got in the hopper? Remember, Phil was like, yeah, so we've seen some things that nobody else knows about, and he said this about a few studios, inXile being one, and I think maybe even the company that's doing Outer Worlds, Obsidian. Apparently they have a game that nobody's seen as well that they were really big on. But what type of games are these? I don't know, because I feel like Game Pass is sort of taking such a critical role for what Microsoft plans for the future. And what good is Game Pass if you're not going to be able to continually push a certain type of game in there, right? And they prefer probably games. They're always going to be able to get people to continue to subscribe. Okay. Continue to subscribe, continue to pay money into this stuff, right? Oh, let me play this brawler or whatever. It's fun. And I'm sure, listen, Ninja Theory is a good developer. It could be #fun. But why is it that this is the first game we get after Microsoft owns them? And I realize that it's been in development for 5 years, but it's like, man, when you first saw Hellblade, that game looked like a big AAA game, and you see this, and it looks like just another run-of-the-mill, it's just a run-of-the-mill indie game, and that's what I'm talking about, man. We as fans deserve a little bit better, and if Microsoft was hanging their hat on, well, we've got this surprise game from Ninja Theory, That'll keep people happy. I'm not sure exactly how happy people in general are going to be for this game. Yes, give it a try if you want. Yes, wait and see. But the fact that we already know it's a 4v4 online only brawler, with somewhere of a stylized graphics between Overwatch and Sunset Overdrive. I just think that it's just one of those games that doesn't really satisfy what I was looking for from Microsoft coming out to you know uh to see and expect. I'm just a little bit disappointed. Hey, if you guys wouldn't mind, like, share, and subscribe. Hey, Jago6 says, I'm done out of here because crap seems to know the future. Hey, the future is 65 Metacritic, my friend. I'm sorry if you don't see that yourself. Listen, that's all jokes aside, man. I'm just saying, for me personally, I'm disappointed that this was Ninja Theory's first offering from Microsoft. And it looks like it's, Ninja Theory are known for single player, and we get a multiplayer game. So maybe it's good. Maybe it'll surprise some people. It's just not something that that I expected. I hope that they have some different new IP to show off, something to tease AAA wise that looks fantastic. Like I said, Fable could be something that that looks great, and I just think that it would be amazing to see that at E3, and Microsoft to take a chance on that instead of the kind of tried and true thing that we've been getting as fans. I feel like this is a little bit of a letdown, but at the same time, if this is your type of thing, then more power to you, right? I feel like this is something that some people are gonna dig. If you're into like the 4v4, the brawlers, like there's a ton of these games nowadays, right? These type of brawlers. But if you're really into it, then cool. Maybe Microsoft saw it and was like, hey, this is something that we can get out there pretty quick. But at the same time, for me personally, it just does nothing for me. Not exactly what I had in mind. Hold on. Big Germ 724 says that's like me saying The Last of Us 2 will flop because of the PC BS that was in it. Gears will do good. Hey, Gears will do good. Listen, here's the thing. Name the other brawlers: Brawlhalla, Smash Brothers. There's a ton of brawlers out there right now, man. Most of them are indies and stuff too. Okay, you can check out. I can look up Xbox One brawlers, and you can see that they have quite a few that pop up. Castle Crashers, Rage Injustice, Bloody Zombies, Double Dragon, Neon. I mean, there's a lot of brawlers on here for Xbox. Okay. And I think that, I got a Google Stadia ad. I'm going to talk about that in a second too, man. I tell you what. Yeah. So anyway, they're Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. There's been a lot of different brawlers. Like I said, there's a couple brawlers, indie brawlers that came out that were okay, but were nothing to really write home about. And that's what this looks like. Like I said, if you think this looks great, and I play none of them, I Rodella, I own them, I have them, and I've played them for all of a little bit till you get bored, because what can you really enjoy from these type of games if you're not a fan of these type of games? Look, if you're not a fan of racing games, you're not going to play a racing game, right? So I'm not really a fan of these type of brawlers. Like I'm not a fan of Overwatch. I don't play Overwatch. I have played it, but I'm not a fan of it. So I'm certainly not going to be into it. And especially when you get these new studios and we're expecting some big announcements, and this is the announcement. If you're going to sit there and tell me that this is what you had in mind for Ninja Theory, who did DMC, which I liked. They did Hellblade, which I didn't like, but I love the art style and the big AAA graphics. Okay. And they took a chance there. They've done some really Heavenly Sword. I liked. It was on PS3. One of the better games, in my opinion, hack and slash. So, I had a lot of high hopes for Ninja Theory, and they will deliver. They will deliver. I just think that this is something they had in the hopper, and Microsoft was like, hey, do you guys have anything that you can show off? And, this was something that they had probably gotten rid of or decided to put aside for a while. And, Microsoft was like, hey, let's give you a little bit of money, finish it up. And I think that's fine. I really do think that's fine. I just feel like that's not exactly what I was expecting from Ninja Theory for their first outing or whatever. You know, I really do think that it's pretty piss poor in my opinion. Just a little disappointing for me personally. If you guys are just joining me, please like, share, and subscribe. Share it out. I would appreciate it. I would say these graphics are AAA, certainly artistic, but still AAA in quality. Itchy Frosty. Did you really think that that's the case? I don't know. Nat Hartman says, what do you expect to see pre-alpha video? Dude, that's their video, man. That's the one from E3. Are they going to show I mean pre-alpha? It's a 4v4 brawler. What else are you expecting them to do? Quick Killing says love DMC. Gameplay was better than Devil May Cry 5 in my opinion. Yeah, I like DMC. I liked it. A lot of people didn't like it, but I certainly liked it. This is not a AAA game, guys. I'm sorry. This is a 4v4 online only brawler. That's not AAA, guys. That's yeah, that's definitely not. Oh, I know the game it reminds me of. Hold on. Gotham City Imposters. It sort of reminds me of that game, right? That's the game I was kind of looking to talking about. Gotham City Imposters. So that's what it reminds me of. So if you guys have ever played Gotham City Imposters, then you'll know sort of what this game is. Okay. Basically, and I think this was a Xbox 360 PS3/PC game where it was like, I think 4v4 or something like that, sort of going back and forth in Gotham City where you were fake Batman and fake Robin and stuff like that. So it was a first-person multiplayer only video game set in the DC Comics Batman universe. It's played in the perspective of two teams, each trying to kill each other. One with people dressed like Batman, and the other dressed like the Joker. Yeah, so that's what this sort of reminds me of. Even the stylized graphics of it, where you could use different kind of guns and stuff like that, definitely reminds me of Gotham City Imposters. That's the game that I was looking when I first saw this trailer. I was like, hey, it sort of reminds me of that. So at the same time, maybe you were a big fan of that. I thought Gotham City Imposters was okay. I didn't think it was anything to really kind of write home about. But I'm sure that there was a bit of a a type of person that is excited by that. Just for me, it didn't do anything for me. And just like this, I was expecting something big AAA wise from Ninja Theory, and maybe not at first. Like I realized that whatever they had was going to probably be not AAA wise. But when you look at what we've seen with Hellblade, that gave me high hopes that graphically we would see something on that level. And I guess I'm probably most disappointed at all at that, and the fact that yeah, we are getting something from them, but it's not exactly what I think most of us had expected in terms of style and stuff like that. Melvin Johnson says, crap, Xbox has lost its way. It's hard saying what their way is now. Like, I don't necessarily so much have a problem. It's kind of par for the course when you look at what they're doing, right? Like, oh, we want you to play on whatever. I just feel like this is another 65 Metacritic game, and it's starting to become a bit of a joke at this point, right? Demon 96 says, it bums me out. This is a multiplayer game. Peace WWE Showdown is about to start. See you in Crossfire tonight. I will be listening. Heck yeah. I appreciate that, and I'm really looking forward to one. Taylor Head says, what kind of game do you want from Ninja Theory? A single player game, something epic in AAA. That's really what I'm more looking forward to, and I feel like we probably will get that eventually, circa 2023. I just feel like maybe it's too soon, but literally you have to wonder if Microsoft, or what Microsoft has been doing for all this time, right? Like, for there not to be any type of any type of movement for years, and it seems like this is what we're kind of getting. I just, for me personally, I just that's just how I feel about it, and I'm a little bit let down by this, but I still think they're going to have a good E3. Don't get it twisted. I know a lot of people are going to be on the hate train or whatever. Hey, I feel like we're going to see some good stuff from Microsoft. This I'm a little bit disappointed in, simply for the fact that I was expecting Microsoft to go out there and show a couple of AAA new IPs, and this really limits that, or maybe something single player, something drastically un-Microsoft like. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And when I say un-Microsoft like, I mean maybe without the multiplayer aspect in the forefront. And it seems like everything they do now is esports or multiplayer or this or that. And I would just like them to more or less go about things a little bit differently and surprise us with something that we really weren't expecting. And I think this is both expected and unexpected, because the game doesn't look that good to me. And also, no single player, no campaign, no nothing like that. So again, very decidedly multiplayer type of game. If you guys are just joining us, please hit the like button, share it out. I would appreciate that. I'm going to answer questions, comments. You guys hate me, whatever. It is what it is. Jackie says, crap, just joined the Pony Nation. Listen, there's no joining. I play PlayStation. I play Xbox. I play Switch, right? I'm complaining because this game looks like trash. I'm sorry. There's other YouTubers out there that'll tell you it looks like a godsend. It looks amazing. I'm not that guy. I was hoping for something better. The Arcade says filler games are coming and the AAA games will be for the next gen start. Here's the problem, Arcade. If you guys had checked out a video that I did not too long ago, there's something called Game Core that Microsoft is working on. It's going to be like an overhaul of their UI and all that kind of stuff. And this is why they're going to be doing cross-gen games, right? Meaning Halo Infinite is going to release on the Xbox Anaconda as well as the Xbox One X and S and all that stuff. So there's going to be cross-gen stuff there. And it's going to be that way for a couple years because this Game Core isn't ready to go yet. So everything that they do is going to be on both. And that means that we're not going to get truly next-gen stuff for a little while yet. And I think that that's a double-edged sword because they're not going to take full advantage of what the Anaconda can do. But I felt like they haven't taken full advantage of the Xbox One X either, unfortunately. And this just is more of like that, right? Like the last few games we've seen from Microsoft have been stuff. And like, let me say this, Sea of Thieves right now is like an 85 meta all day, in my opinion. It is absolutely a fun game. It's got a lot of content. It's got a lot of everything. Like, it really is a fun game. And it's a multiplayer game, it's multiplayer only. So there is that. And then, you have like State of Decay 2. Like, yeah, you can play. That's like a heavily multiplayer type game with things. And even Forza Horizon 4, which I love, that is the most games as a service Forza game we've had yet. And it's just like they really are pushing that agenda. And I'm not saying I hate that agenda. I'm just saying it'd be nice for them to change it up, as much as it would be nice for Sony to change up and do some multiplayer stuff. But they are, like Sony did announce, what is it, that Predator game or whatever it is, that's exclusive. That's going to be an exclusive multiplayer game for them. So I'm just saying, I would have liked to seen maybe a little something different, maybe something with some real like different type of graphics, because don't you guys think it's funny? And maybe it's just coincidence, right? I'm not a huge guy that believes in coincidence, but maybe it's coincidence that most of these games that we're getting from Microsoft lately look like this, right? Like these stylized graphics or whatever. I mean, I get it because Fortnite is big and it has stylized graphics, and a lot of people maybe think that it's a thing, or Overwatch was big. But when you're hungry for something big AAA wise, and we keep getting almost the same looking thing over and over again, I just feel like that's a little bit disappointing. But again, like I said, I'm not going to kind of deter you guys or say that it's going to be a bad E3, because from what I understand, it's going to be a great E3. We still could get like the Fable announcement or a couple other new IP announcements. But I'm not going to, if this was one of the big new IP announcements that Microsoft had in mind to kind of quell fears about poor exclusives in the future, then they kind of failed at it, because this doesn't scream, amazing to me, or great future, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, to me anyway, right? If you guys think so, then I think that's fine. But yeah, I just, for me personally, is just one of those things, but for me, I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, wait and play it. And I understand that point of view as well. Listen, I get it. But the fact of the matter is, we now know what the game is about. and we've seen a trailer for it, and it just does not look very good to me. But again, if you feel differently, hey, I respect the heck out of your decisions and your thoughts, just like I just asked people to do with me. Respect my opinion, and I'll respect yours right back. Look, Game Pass is a beautiful thing. You guys will be able to try the game. I don't think this is going to be a $60 game, by the way, when it releases. I think this is going to be one of those $30 or $40 budget titles that Microsoft releases. And, again, that goes right into what they've been doing lately, but also could be a bit of the problem, because I've been having, this type of issue with what they're releasing lately, simply for the fact that a lot of their games are like these mid-budget things. Like this goes in line with exactly what we've been getting, kind of these mid-tier games that, and I feel like we deserve a little bit better. Even Crackdown 3, for a 5-year development game, I guess I expected something a little bit better. I'm not saying it wasn't fun or it was horrible, but I think I expected a little bit better with that much development time and even more money thrown at the game. Whereas, State of Decay 2 kind of got exactly I was disappointed by it. I expected the multiplayer to work where you could progress your game, being in your friends' games and things like that. So that was just, to me, that was one of the bigger disappointments of the entire generation, because I liked the first one so much. And when they mentioned multiplayer, you just expect it to be able to progress your story, and there wasn't even a story. It's just like events, and it's kind of lame. And you can't bring anything back in a big rucksack, only like little things. It was just not fun. And again, I think Gears 5, from what I've seen, looks good. And I know a lot of people are going to hate on some of the stuff that they see, like Gears or whatever. But AK Massifier says, Phil personally pushed Crackdown 3 for years and said how he wanted it to be a pillar of the brand. How can anyone have faith in the brand moving forward that he knows what a good game is? I'm suspicious. AK Massifier, here's the thing. You're not wrong, right? I think you're right, because check this out. Phil pushes Phil games, okay? Even when Microsoft was supposedly broke for the Xbox division, what were they putting out? They were putting out Phil games, right? They remastered, what was that? Voodoo Vince, that's a Phil game. They continued work on Crackdown 3 because that's a Phil game, but they canceled Scalebound, and they canceled some of these other games that Microsoft was working on because they weren't necessarily Phil games. Now, here's the thing. I don't agree that that's the way things should be done. Phil is the head of Xbox, and I think that's part of the reason why he hired like Matt Booty to run Xbox, the game studios, because Phil, like if I'm head of Xbox Game Studios, I'm going to go with Crapgamer style games, right? Stuff that I want to see. But I think when you're in that position in a company, you have to go with games that, that other people might like as well, because you're not the only person, right? I realize I'm not the only person. People might like this Ninja Theory game. I get the irony here, folks. Trust me. But I'm a YouTuber, and I'm giving my impressions of this. So I get that. But Phil has to understand is there's more than just him. There's this group of people that are hungry for like a single player game. Not every game has to be that. I get it. But when all your games recently have been AA quality or less and scored incredibly poor, for this to be like the first offering, I think that is a bit of a bummer. And for me, I'm personally a little bit disappointing. Buffalo Bobby says Phil Spencer has zero clue what he's doing. He's a dove. Make Xbox great again. Fire Phil and get that guy who wants to win. We need a beast. Melvin Johnson says Crackdown 3, Recore, CFD, Super Lucky Tail, State of Decay 2, now Bleeding Edge. Just mediocrity from the Xbox brand. Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with that. There's going to be people that will defend it, but I'm not one of them. I like Sea of Thieves, but I understand why people might hate it. It's multiplayer only. It really cuts out a big portion of your potential audience that could actually view it or enjoy it, and I think that that's a bit of a bummer, just in my opinion, and I do think that we will see some fun things from Microsoft in the future. And this E3, I do feel like we're going to see some amazing things this E3, but at the same time, we've got to see, some things that maybe we didn't expect. And I feel like, we haven't done that so far. So hopefully we get that soon. we need to see something new and fresh, and this does not look new or fresh to me. And I know, I know that this is something that a lot of people aren't going to like hearing, but Microsoft is held accountable for what they do. Okay, as a company, it's up to them to give us, the consumers, what we ask for, and it takes time to make AAA games. I get it, but at the same time, Microsoft could quell a lot of fear just by showing off a trailer or something of a AAA game, right? Have faith in your developers that they're going to make it the game and they're going to complete the game, right? You say you're the new Microsoft, you're doing things differently now. You have faith in this and that, and gamers are gamers and love, love, love. Then show off that you believe and have faith in these people that are their jobs to make games for fans, and show something worthwhile. And I think that's what we're going to get at E3. So, like I said, I am a little bit bummed about this news, but at the end of the day, I still feel like, this is one of those things that has me kind of bummed out right now. So, and I'm not the only one, man. I've been getting messages from people saying that they're, extremely, happy or whatever. So, or not happy with how this looks. So hopefully we will see Microsoft continue to push some boundaries and stuff like that in the future, just because I feel like this is not, Ninja Theory is much more capable than this. So, just in my opinion. So, anyway, I'm going to answer some more questions here. What do you guys got? Next doc says Phil's speciality is subscriptions and services. He has no idea what a good game is. Listen, next doc, I was browsing Twitter and I saw, yes, Melvin Johnson, I think Gears 5 is going to be amazing. So trust me. Craig E3 says, Crapgamer, I guess Phil is walking the tightrope line releasing AA and AAA games. It just seems that we've had way too much AAA or AA. Yeah, here's the thing. Some of these AA, like State of Decay 2 or even this game, would be good in between something new AAA and a Halo, right? Or something new AAA and a Forza, okay? If you were to sandwich it between those things, I agree. But when you have these AA's masquerading as AAA's and we're so hungry for a AAA game, then I think that's a bit of a problem, and that's what we're kind of facing right here. What more? Oh, Thembo Moyo says, what more do y'all want? You wanted games. We wanted AAA games. We wanted, something we haven't seen before, not necessarily a 4v4 brawler that we've seen, plenty of recently. You know what I mean? Nat Hartman says, all the power don't help if games are AA. Listen, this is a perfect thing right here, right? Nat, props to you, okay? Here's the thing. Nat is 100% right. Microsoft is going to hang their hat on us having the most powerful console, right? Have the most powerful console, blah, 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 right? We're going to have the most powerful console. What good does it do if we're playing games like this? How is Bleeding Edge going to take advantage of the Xbox One X or the Anaconda? Realistically, you don't need those to play this style of game because it's not needed. Let's see. Hunter Grantham says, well, if it's what Ninja Theory wanted to make, I'm happy for them. Now quit bitching. No, actually, I'm going to complain about it and then leave it at what it is because it's a leak and I wanted to talk about it. If you don't want to, I get it, man. It's not my fault that Microsoft does this type of thing, right? Like, I feel like I get hate because I call out Microsoft for their own idiocy. Okay. This is like, if you're at Microsoft, okay, it's like when you release the Xbox One SAT edition, okay, and you don't have anybody that can notice that it spells out SAT edition, that's a them problem. When you're Microsoft, and I've heard internally they're very worried about people looking at Game Pass as being a B-rated movie, right? Like a direct-to-DVD place, and they're worried about that, right? Well, if you're worried about it, then scrap the stuff that looks like that and start over. Maybe spend some money, buy a couple of timed exclusives in the meantime, or real exclusives or whatever. Get some, if you're realistically, I always felt that Microsoft screwed Xbox gamers out of a lot of things. And one of the main reasons why was when they didn't have games to give us. You know, they didn't have games to give us. They should have been giving us exclusive content. Okay. They should have been giving us map packs and strikes and all this kind of great stuff, right? Make us feel like, hey, at least we were wanted. When I watched this trailer for E3 from Microsoft, and you guys can watch it, it says an invitation for gamers everywhere. PC Game Pass, PC game announcements, right? Like, they're not even talking about console anymore. And I get that it's blah, 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 but it's like that. Why is the PC getting exclusive announcements and we're not, right? Why is, yes, let's wait and see what these developers can do. But at the same time, we're getting, what are we getting? Because it doesn't look like they're learning. It doesn't look like they're learning to me anyway. Like, why would, like, I get that they need games and Game Pass and all that kind of stuff, but I wouldn't even have bothered with this until you had something AAA to show off from one of your new studios, just in my opinion anyway. The DJ Sugar Pop says, Ninja Theory wanted to make this. I think if this game does well, then Microsoft will have more faith that gives them a big budget, so I think they're playing it safe. No, listen, Ninja Theory already has a big budget. They bought a brand new studio for them or whatever. They have like almost unlimited budget. Sofa King says, so crap, would you rather Phil cancel the game and not show anything at all from Ninja Theory? This game was in the making before Microsoft acquired them. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have said canceled, but I would have said that possibly what you do is you have other AAA stuff to announce, and you might go, well, maybe they will. Well, maybe, and maybe it'll all work out. I just don't see there being a big need or a big want for people to pick up a AA 4v4 online only brawler, right? Like, I'm just not sure that that's going to be, great. Hold on. Mondo says, D-bags. This is a game that Ninja Theory has been working on for 6 years. Well, Mondo, if you actually look into it, though, they've scrapped it because it wasn't good, and they didn't have anybody that wanted to actually publish this game because it's not good. And Microsoft, after they bought them, Phil Spencer was like, hey, what do you guys got in the garbage laying around that we can slap on an Xbox? And they were like, here it is. And so that's basically what we're getting. So that's the fact. So you can sit there and like try to call us names or whatever for commenting on it. But the truth of the matter is that this game was scrapped several times and they changed it several times. And Microsoft brought it back because they desperately needed exclusives. But we desperately need big exclusives. I don't know if a 4v4 brawler is what people had in mind when I'm looking over and I'm seeing God of War, Spider-Man, Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima. You know what I mean? Just the quality isn't there. Seems that Sony needs to put everything into their games because PlayStation is keeping them afloat, but Microsoft doesn't feel the need to do the same. Then let Xbox go. Let them become third party. I'll happily play Gears and Halo and Forza on a PlayStation at that point, right? Like, if they don't want to support the games or make games, then go third party. It's what they want to do anyway. Stop making consoles, completely go third party, let people only buy the one console that they want, and just let it go. That's my opinion on that. If you're not going to go all in, then why bother? Exactly. Big Germ says Microsoft knew exactly where they were putting this game. Yeah, I get it. We have seen early footage from this game and knew what it was. Mojo Blues. We didn't know exactly what it was. We thought that it was, I don't know. People were like, it looks like Destiny-ish. I thought it was going to be a 4-player co-op game because they said 9 maps where you fight your way through it or whatever. But now it's just strictly a brawler with no type of story or whatever. So why does that take 5 years? Well, because they kept canceling it and they brought it back or whatever. Steven Smith says there's definitely an audience for this type of game. We'll see. It could be great. What audience is for this game, man? I'm not really seeing a big audience for these type of brawlers, man. Maybe I'm mistaken, but what games are out there like this that are drawing huge crowds consistently? Quick Killing says, if you want AAA exclusive only games, Nintendo and Sony are for you. Microsoft is about services and selling them. They will always make a box for the few that want them. Hey, good for them, man. Bravo. Hey, I'm not gonna buy it, man. It's like, look, Game Pass, it doesn't appeal to me, but that's why Game Pass is there. Fire up a month of it, see how it is, review it or whatever, and then kind of move on from there. I love how people just get so pissy when you bring out the truth. You'll never see people get more angry than in response to a startling truth. And the startling truth is we have another mediocre looking game that's exclusive to Xbox. Sorry, folks. Itchy Frosty says, how about we just wait and see them formally announce this in context before we call it trash? And I never said it was dead on arrival. I just said I don't think it's going to be a huge hit. The DJ Sugar Pop says, do you think Ninja Theory has a single player game being made from the same team that made Hellblade? I heard they're making multiplayer games. Well, they have multiple teams. This was a smaller team that finished this, apparently, from what I read, because Game Informer has an article about it as well. And I believe that this is one of the smaller teams that finished this game, because this is a game that was on and off development for 5 years. And so they have other games, but I don't think those other games are going to be ready for a while. Big Germ says, I hate asking the same question, but just in case you missed it, do you think the less consoles next gen will only have 4 teraflops and be less than the Xbox One X? Foundry said this. I don't see how you could do lesser consoles for next gen. Right? Like, I know that T-flops aren't everything, and you put a beast CPU in there, you could get 1080p 60 pretty well, but why would you go back? Microsoft and Sony have both been pushing quote-unquote 4K since 2016, right? When they announced the X and said you would be able to play in 4K and the Pro was 4K. So I don't see how you can back that down and go, well, get this 1080p 60 machine, right? Like, I'm not sure it works that way. Brandon Bryce says, crap, I think this game will get high numbers like Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2. Brandon, State of Decay 2 and Sea of Thieves didn't get high numbers, man. La 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 says the only thing mediocre is Crapgamer A, man. One and only right there. Johanza Villages says not one list on the internet or YouTube asked for 4v4 arena brawler looking like Overwatch. I agree. I said it, but people don't like it. If you're just joining me, please like the video, share it out. Let's get to over 100 likes. I really do appreciate it. Let's see. Would I feel the same way about this game if it was a free-to-play? I hate free-to-play games, East Texas, Alex. I'm not a big free-to-play guy, you know? They could make it free-to-play. Maybe they want to make it, try to capitalize on something like that. I don't know. But it's not my style. Maybe it's some people. Dog of War says, I've been telling people not to sleep on the new Ninja Theory game. Sigh, time to eat crow. Hey, Dog of War, man, I'm with you. I'm with you. It could be. Don't I like Fortnite? LG Nemesis, no. I don't like I'm not a Fortnite guy, right? Kids loved Fortnite. I'm not a fan. They play it all the time. I don't particularly like this. Ninja Theory has 3 game projects. Yes, they do. Bleeding Edge, that Star Wars VR game, and something new. But the new game isn't going to be ready for years yet. So yeah, we do got that. Where is the video? Oh, you know what? Hey, LG Nemesis. If you notice something, right? A lot of what I do on YouTube is kind of either being sarcastic or poking fun at either myself or something else. So if you look at the video of me playing Fortnite, I'm dancing the entire time because Fortnite to me is kind of ridiculous like that. It's like just dancing. I don't get it. I like the fun for me just isn't there. I saw a good question. KJ says, you think the game will have single player? No. According to this, it's a multiplayer only game, and it's going to have an alpha test June 27th, 2019. So this game is already ready to kind of release, and some people might like it. I get that, man. I do. But for me personally, I was hoping for I didn't mind co-op because I think co-op can be fun. Like I know, listen, the new Halo game, or excuse me, the new Fable game is going to be co-op. It's going to be single player, but it's going to be co-op. So you're going to be able to play with your friends. And I thought that maybe we'd get something like that. I realized it probably wasn't going to be something hugely AAA. But yeah, like I was hoping for something a little bit better than this. And I get it if you're cool with it or you want to wait and see or whatever. For me personally, just a little bit disappointing. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm not down on Xbox. Trust me. I think they're going to do a good E3. Like I just said earlier, I was just expecting a little something better. And, we haven't really seen that yet. So hopefully we do. Um, yeah. Oh man, I did want to talk about this Stadia stuff, but I guess I'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, to stream that stuff in 4K, man, 65 hours, which is less than like some RPGs. 1 terabyte. That's a lot of stuff. So yeah, man, I'm not exactly loving the Stadia stuff. A lot of people that told me Stadia was going to be the future and streaming was going to be the future. Let me tell you guys this right now. 10 megabits down to play 720p. I couldn't consistently play 720p right now on that, right? Like I technically have more than that, but if I were to test when I test my internet sometimes at home, I usually pull on average 6, 7, 8. You know what I mean? It's not a straight enough 10 to do the 720p stuff. So yeah, consoles is going to be the way for me to go for a long time. Can we guys get to 100 likes? I would really appreciate that. Do you think Microsoft made some second party like remedy deals for games? DJ Sugar Pop, that's a good question. Phil Spencer said 2.5 years ago, we just signed deals for exclusives, but we're not going to talk about them because they're not ready for 2 or 3 years. Those 2 or 3 years are up this year. So hopefully they do. And we did hear from Brad Sams that there was going to be at least 3 new IP, maybe more announced. So maybe we'll see something new, something very incredible announced. I'm hoping. Fable could save the day for me, but I'm not going to lie, man. I'm going to be a hard person to live with or watch if Microsoft drops the ball this E3, you know? Trust me, I'm well aware of and well expecting them to do the whole Minecraft Dungeons thing, the PC announcements, the focus on PC. Here's Gears Tactics. Here's Age of Empires. Here's PC Game Pass. Here's, this, that, and the other thing. It's all good, right? Like I'll go get a snack or something. I don't particularly care. But if they drop the ball with announcing stuff for us console fans, I shouldn't be the only one pitching a fit, to be honest with you. I'm surprised I seem to be one of the few that's bringing this stuff up. It's sort of funny to me, you know. I just a little bit disappointed, that's all. Let's see some other questions. The game could be good. Nobody does melee combat as good. Hey, I'm not saying it could be fine. I just think that man, so many better things that they could have done. So, how about this for the future, having games that are not tethered to the internet with stable video quality? It's the future, and it's called the console. Hey, dual purpose, I'm there with you, man. Because if it's ever not the way to go, then I think I'm screwed because I will probably never be able to stream. I don't know. Like people have been saying we're going to get upgraded internet around these parts for over 10 years, and it never happens. So, Microsoft has to kill it. Yeah. Far says, hold on. What does he say? He says, as someone who's a fan of Ninja Theory and played all their games, I'm extremely disappointed in what I saw with Bleeding Edge. Yep. Phil is busy playing Sony AAA exclusives and congratulating them on those games rather than worrying about his own party studios. Yep. You get better. Mark Alpert says, little disappointed. You better get ready for the rest. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm still going to be excited. It's not going to kill my hype for E3. I think that they're going to be doing some good stuff. Dude, would we really want a Ninja Gaiden game without the original Team Ninja people? Like, that guy's not there anymore. I'm just not sure it'll be there. What if they say the new Fable will be online on that only? The one, well, I hope not. There is no Google Fiber here, dude. I have the only internet available in my area. Fanboys will never admit that Microsoft has the worst generation in terms of first, second party games in the last 10 years. Instead of fixing it, they're pivoting to try and appeal to casuals. Jeff Nab, holy crap. You guys hear that? Jeff Nab just maybe made one of the biggest and best comments I have ever seen. Holy crap, man. If I could give you something, I would. Listen to what he says. Fanboys will never admit that Microsoft has had the worst generation in terms of first and second party games in the last 10 years. And instead of fixing it, they're pivoting trying to appeal to the casuals. If he did not just nail what Microsoft is doing on the head perfectly, I don't know what is. Microsoft had to pivot because they were getting beaten so soundly. There was a recent article that was like the new Xbox or new vision of Xbox or something like that. And it went on to talk about them basically forced to go and allow games on PC and mobile gaming because they were getting their butts kicked so badly in the console market, and they had to do something to survive. And he's right though, right? Like, get the games down first. Like, Microsoft wants to like start a production company, and they've got like the Three Stooges running things, right? They're not ready for it. Like, they've got Netflix, and like Mooch always says, the only thing they got on there is what about Bob right now, right? Like, you got to prove that you can get consistently good games on there, and this game screams a 65 meta and just nothing. Nobody's going to go out and go, hey, Bleeding Edge is definitely a game that you got to get an Xbox for, or even Game Pass for it. To be honest with you, it just doesn't look appealing. You know, that's a problem. Once again, Xbox is only Gears, Halo, and Forza, according to Johansel Villages, because everything else is always underwhelming. I agree. Let's see. Next doc says it's evident that Xbox is going the way of EA and Activision with service-based games and monetization. They need to attack the industry's weaknesses, AAA single-player games. Yeah, you're not wrong. Here's the thing. Not only them, but Ubisoft as well. Look what Ubisoft is doing. They even turned Assassin's Creed into sort of a games as a service. Hey, we're closing in on 100 likes. Please do that. Dual Purpose says, here's this new powerful Xbox. It's called Anaconda. You can play AA games like Bleeding Edge on it to show off some of the power. Exactly. Mark Albert says, how are they going to sell their new hardware? I have no idea. They're going to have people that are always going to kiss their butts and make videos and say everything's hunky-dory and great and how amazing this is, right? Yeah, so heck if I know how they're going to sell the consoles, because playing Bleeding Edge, I think the base Xbox can play that perfectly fine, right? You definitely don't need a 14 T-flop machine to play it. If Microsoft, Itchy Frosty says, don't get me wrong, if Microsoft shows an overall focus on games as a service, I'm going to be massively disappointed, but I'm not going to assume that ahead of E3 and based solely on this game. Yeah, that's smart, man. I'm not saying abandon ship. I'm not quitting Xbox. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm just saying, in terms of leaks of what we've seen, this is very disappointing. And I think that when you guys watch, if you guys watch Crossfire later, I think most of the guys will probably have the same opinion of it, right? Yeah, it's really interesting. So, so I mean, we could always see some other IP from Ninja Theory. I don't think, like I said, this one is this Ninja Theory game, by the way, Bleeding Edge, is something that has been in development for a while. Microsoft, I guess, gave them the funding to finish this passion project of theirs. I don't see a huge market for it, but maybe it could be good. I don't know. Maybe they have something else to show too. Maybe they'll surprise us and be two, and I'll look like an idiot. I would love to look like an idiot, right? I do nothing better than play the role of idiot. Okay, I get it. But I just think that Microsoft has to go out there and show some things that we aren't expecting. So supposedly this wasn't the Hellblade team, but the Hellblade team was only, 10 or 20 people. So I'm not really sure exactly. Man, when you think of the Hellblade or DMC or Enslaved making a brawler, I don't know. I just I gotta say it's a little bit disappointing. Online Melee, Bleeding Edge, technical alpha already. I don't know. I just yeah, I don't know. Not really a fan. Maybe this is them trying to appeal to the PC side again, right? Because I'm looking at one report that says it sort of looks like ARM's Overwatch hybrid, maybe free to play. I don't know, or this is something that was in play before Microsoft bought. I don't know what the plan is. So yeah, I'm not really sure exactly how they're gonna work that, but I'll be interested to see how it works out. No, well, listen, 20 Master. It's not rip Microsoft or Ninja Theory. I think Ninja Theory will come back and do great things. I just feel like this was something that they had. Next doc, hate, dude. When I saw this, I said this is the most Xbox game ever. 65 Metacritic, online only. Low budget. It just does not look like a very good game. LG Nemesis says, meanwhile, Fortnite is throwing everything you just said out the window, and that's just one game. Well, here's the thing with Fortnite, though. Fortnite allows for a lot of people to play at the same time. You have 100 people, and it really kind of attracts the masses and the kids and the casual market. When I see this bleeding edge stuff, it doesn't look like it's going to be able to do that. Fortnite, they have what 1,000-person team. Epic Games does, creating stuff for that game all the time, right? To keep it relevant, and you have to do that, and it struck gold. Good for them. I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, apples to mini oranges. Dog of War says, you and Mooch should watch E3 live on stream. I would like to hear your live reactions. You get your wish, my friend. M&C with skits and bits. We're going to be doing a pre-show on Mooch's channel, the live reactions during on Mooch's channel, the post reactions on my channel. I'm looking forward to it. Either way, it's going to be fun. If Microsoft kill it, it's going to be fun. If they blow it, it's going to be fun. Either way, it's going to be fun. Come watch me have a meltdown or be very excited. So, hey, Xbox has great body wash. Smell like third place. Smell like a AA game for a low, low price. I'm telling you, folks, it's going to be great. Single player and multiplayer should have a healthy mix. I hope Microsoft makes more single player games going forward. Greg, you're right. A pundit or somebody that's just pro Xbox nonstop will tell you, well, Gears and Halo both have single player, which is true. But if you look at it, a lot of these times, these type of single player games are only, smaller single player games and things like that. I feel like Microsoft really has to go out there and prove that they can do something single player wise. In my opinion, they really have to go out there and do that. That's what I'm hoping for. Please hit the like button as we go forward. We are going to have a fantastic E3 this Sunday. It's going to be amazing. Hey, I love single player. I like multiplayer. 4v4 brawler, not so much. Just my Steven Smith. Man, I don't really have anything much to say, man. If people got something to say to me, they can say it to my face. Otherwise, I've always just said that it just shows the type of people that they are. And that's basically cowardice, to be honest with you. My DMs are open. Anybody that wants to talk to me is free to do that. Xbox Live as well, Skype. Basically it takes two to tango, man, and I don't really want to get into that stuff. But, frauds get found out relatively easily. And, people, as far as I'm concerned, I just do my own thing, silly stuff. And, I don't never take this stuff too seriously, especially don't take what internet strangers think too seriously. You know what I mean? I love single player too, man. Hey, I'm not down on Xbox. I think Microsoft is going to have a good E3. I just think that they're going to, that this is a little bit disappointing for a first big leak, right? Hey, crap, you sure are crap. Hey, you got me there. Good one. Mog Wee says they don't have to outdo Fortnite. I think Fortnite is, I'm not going to say it, lowbrow gaming for people who aren't smart enough to appreciate cinematography, good writing, and attention to detail. I actually kind of like the Fortnite single player aspect. Hey, Matty Beast, more chasing waterfalls. I don't want no scrubs, Matty. I don't know what to say about this stuff, man. Like Microsoft, a little bit sketchy lately, man. Like, just even like I said, Maddie, I don't know if you saw that new E3 trailer from Microsoft. It's on Twitter and like all over, but it's like an invitation for gamers everywhere. Join us. PC Game Pass announcements, PC game announcements. It's like nowhere do they mention consoles or anything like that. I'm a little bit disappointed by that, but I'm hoping that they really blow us away by stuff. Hey, 10 away from 100 likes. Please like it, share it out. Let's go. Let's have some fun. I'm hoping that we get more than one thing from Ninja Theory, because there's a rumor going around that maybe they have a couple of things or whatever. I'm looking at some of the tweets for Ninja Theory because Ninja Theory is trending right now, folks. You guys want to hear some of the tweets? Ninja Theory is trending right before E3. Let's have a look. Xbox needs some third-person narrative action game. Oh, not like this with a GIF. Yeah. Uh, uh, let's see. Ninja Theory. We believe in single player experiences, and that is why we made Hellblade, and we made that on our own without financing. Ninja Theory signs up with Microsoft to order them to make a 4v4 fighting game, which that's not exactly accurate because they were wanting to make this before, but nobody wanted to finance it whatsoever. Here's that Ninja Theory game looks like a free to play. Let's see. Ninja Theory's new IP has leaked. Ninja Theory title. Oh, wow. Microsoft acquires Ninja Theory. Damn cool. They will finally have a AAA budget. Ninja Theory announces 4v4 online melee game. Am I a joke to you? I like the memes. Oh, there's a crying Jordan meme. The character designs are awful too. Ninja Theory, why? Ninja Theory, Nintendo Switch. Oh, dude, could you imagine if they did put this game on the Nintendo Switch too? Like, it would probably run it on there. I don't know. mm. Mojo Blues. Oh, hold on. Jay Slayer says, crap. What don't people get? You are only being down on this crappy game. Yeah, I mean, I'm not down on their whole thing. You know, I'm just down on another 65 Metacritic. Looks like a free-to-play game. State of Decay, Bleeding Edge, describe the Xbox brand right now. All that's left is dead in the title of a game because they're bleeding out for a while now. Yes, Haunted Cake, it does look pretty bad. Mojo Blue says, crap, Xbox is no longer a console game company. They're a multi-plat company, and with these studios, they'll bring good games, but their focus will never be console. Again, they are blinded by PC numbers. The problem is, Mojo, you still have consoles that you're supporting. So as long as you're supporting them, you should at least mention consoles, right? So, I mean, listen, Mark, he says bleeding will flop. Glad I switched over to PlayStation. You don't necessarily have to switch, but I do say when you see stuff like this, it makes you appreciate what Sony is able to accomplish with their first party much more. So for me personally anyway, I think that it's just one of those things that I can get a little bit, look, here's the thing. Microsoft is not worried about their reputation because despite the facts, right, that this is something that Microsoft realistically had nothing or very little to do with. Like, obviously, Ninja Theory was working on this game for 5 years, well before Microsoft bought them. People are going to go, Microsoft, and I'm seeing it right now, right? Microsoft ruined Ninja Theory. This is what we're seeing already. Microsoft are not aware of the corny image that they have or the bad image as people that buy developers they have, right? So people think Microsoft ruined Rare. I disagree with that. People think are going to think Microsoft ruined Ninja Theory. I disagree with that too. I feel like that Ninja Theory had a passion project with this. It's I get it. It's like you're one of the Beatles and you want to go out and do your own thing and you come up with number 9 where you just repeat number nine over and over. And yeah, props to the record company for letting you do that. But at the end of the day, it's probably not the right move. So I get that Ninja Theory wanted to test the waters or whatever, and that's cool. But I think Microsoft should have been a little bit more aware of what people think of them in the long run and how they think that Microsoft ruins studios and how we've only had these AA type of middleware games. And this is definitely what we've, something that, people could look here. Microsoft forced Ninja Theory to make a multiplayer game. Microsoft is a monster. Yeah. I mean, this is stuff that we're seeing.